Alright guys, welcome back to the Giant Hot Take Podcast. It's not an off day, but we're going to overreact. I'm Jack with the co-host Jake. This is going to be, a real shit show of an episode. Horrible road trip. Giants went 2-5 against the Rockies and the Dodgers. We're going to air out the frustration here. We're going to set the tone early. It's a lot cheaper than therapy, and just before we get into it, we want to thank you guys for tuning in, but just so you guys can respect us a little more. What time is it right now? It's 3:04. I showed up to Jake's house 12:55, and we filmed an episode, fantastic episode. It's about this. We tried to upload it, got deleted, so I was like, shit. So we're like, okay, we'll run it back. It's like 1:45 now, and like, okay, it's fine, dude. Like, no big deal. We refilm another beautiful episode. Didn't get uploaded again. So we're on our third take right now. We've been filming for about 2.5 hours, so bear with us. I don't even have to look at the script of this episode. I've got this shit in the bottom of my heart now. I don't know about you. So we're going to cover the Rockies series and the Dodgers series. Starting off game one, I'm sitting in Tahoe on Thursday, just really excited about this series. I'm texting all my Giants friends, texting Jake, texting my grandpa, texting Charles, texting Lincoln. All fantastic Giants fans, big fans of the show, and just like, wow, can't wait. 19 of our next 23 games are against teams with a losing record, starting in Coors Field. Like, dude, this is time to go on the run. Mm-hmm. It's go time. So we open up. Kyle Harrison start at Coors Field. Kyle looks fantastic. Giants end up losing 7-3. You want to break down this game, start off with Kyle, and just, like, what'd you see, what'd you like?
So, Kyle looked good. He's gone 12 straight innings of shutout baseball at Coors Field against the Rockies. So he's been great. 4 walks, though. The control has been a little bit of a problem. 6 strikeouts. Can't complain about that. No runs. Definitely can't complain about that. 1 hit. So he pitched a great game despite having a little bit of control issues. Pitched a great game. Yet again, big toll on the bullpen. Bad decisions from Melvin on who to throw and when to throw. Tyler Rogers comes into the game, lets up a 3-run bomb. It just...
bomb.
Like... He's a guy that pitches to contact, who throws 84 miles an hour. That and Coors Field do not go well together because the ball just absolutely flies. So, Melvin, that's on you for throwing him, especially at that stadium. And Luke Jackson, his honorary home run a game. That's just what happened. Game 1, bullpen. It's just never a doubt. Just kidding. It's always a doubt.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be Giants baseball if we didn't it wouldn't be a Giants loss if Jackson didn't give up a bomb in the 8th inning or 9th inning. Offense strikes out 10 times. It's going to be the theme of this road trip, but just can't happen. You take a 3-2 lead into the 6th, actually through the 6th, and then don't score for the rest of the game. Have a Matt Chapman error late, kind of just screws us over, and then I've never heard of Jake Cave before in my life, but a guy on the Rockies, he's not even a starter on the Rockies, comes off the bench, 2 for 2 with a bomb off Rogers and a double off Walker. There's nothing like this, man. We're just getting beat by shitty players, and so it's okay. We only lost 1 game, not the end of the world. Rolling into game 2, we can still win this series. Got our ace Logan Webb on the mound. Logan goes 6 innings, 4 earned, gives up a bomb on a slide step that, believe it or not, Melvin tried to take the blame for. We're in the MLB. I used to pitch when I was 10. I knew how to slide step. It does not take away hanging a slider at Coors Field. I think it was Tovar took him deep. Tovar's a guy that the Giants need. We don't have a guy like Tovar. Never heard of him, but man, that guy can rake. So what's the issue with Webb? Giants lose 4-3 once again. This team can't string together wins for the life of them.
His command has been awful. It's not like himself last year. 4 walks from Webb, a guy who goes real deep into games, is just kind of unacceptable. 8 hits. He's a guy that's known for giving up some hits, but when you combine that with some walks and getting behind in the count early, it just only gets worse. So he's got to take advantage of the count early, and I think that he could end up finding his stuff again. But as of now, he's been real iffy, especially against the Dodgers too. We'll get more into that in a minute. But yeah, it's just been a command issue for him lately. The bullpen looked great. Miller 2 strikeouts. Jelly 2 strikeouts, both went an inning with a perfect game ball. So it was the starting pitchers that pitch bad, the bullpen pitches well, and then the starting pitchers pitch well, the bullpen pitches bad. There's just never a day of Giants baseball where there's not a pitching issue.
No, yeah, it's unbelievable. And then I don't know about you. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of the other podcast I listened to. It's called Giant Hot Takes. Two very good-looking guys have been begging for this Tyler Fitzgerald guy to get a start. And if you listen to the last episode, Tyler still hasn't started since that episode, since he scored on the walk-off wild pitch against the Cubs. Blue Jays. Sorry. Hasn't played since. He plays this game, first start, hits a bomb, 2 for 3. It's going to be, this whole episode, you're going to hear a lot of Tyler Fitzgerald bombs. So Giants lose 4-3. Fitzgerald looks great. Strike out 9 times again. Runners in scoring position, 1 for 5. Of course, Fitz had the one hit. Rolling into Game 3, and I mean, it's never a good feeling waking up on a Sunday trying to avoid a sweep against the Rockies. I mean, pretty brutal thought. I didn't even watch this game. I took a 1-game boycott. I had to for my mental health. I mean, Birdsong looks incredible. Goes 6 innings, 12 strikeouts, 2 earned, just 2 walks. I mean, it's easily the best he's looked in a Giants uniform. What'd you like from Hayden? What'd you like in this game? It was at least nice to avoid the sweep.
12 strikeouts in 6 innings. Any rookie doing that on any team is just a phenomenal outing. Yeah. I mean,
Coors Field.
2 hits, 2 runs at Coors. Can't complain about that either. Birdsong pitched an amazing game. The bullpen pitched an amazing game. I mean, we win. I mean, the bullpen pitches well, we win. Shocker. So, I mean, if we just string these little things together, we're this close. We're this close. But, I mean, the offense was all right. Only struck out 6 times. I mean, when you don't strike out, you win games. Is that much of a shocker, too? I don't think so. So, yeah, 7 hits, 3 runs on 6 strikeouts. That should win you a decent amount of ball games, and it did that night. So, Birdsong, props to him. Great game. Probably going to be the best game of him that he's going to throw all year. But what does he get for that? Sent down to single A from Melvin after the game. Do you want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, I mean, I can't contain I'm laughing, but, like, inside I'm just so pissed off. Just, how do you, an organization that's been sub 500 for, I don't know, 6 to 8 years, since 2014, and we've had a couple playoff runs sprinkled in here and there. And so, I mean, just a losing organization. Like, I'm a Packers fan. The Packers run, and he's obviously a Niners fan. That's 2 very well-run organizations, you know, in the playoff mix every year because they get winners in their organization. And so how do you get winners in your organization? I'll show you the opposite. It's how you get losers. You get a 22-year-old stud, probably rushed him up to the big leagues if we're all being honest. He strikes out 12, walks into the office after the game. He's probably feeling like incredible, like ego boost. Walks in there like, hey, oh yeah, what's up, coach? Hayden, you're going down. Oh, really? All right, that's fine. I'm going to Sacramento. It's not bad. No, you're going to San Jose. You're playing single A ball next week. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, there's no excuse for that. I mean, if you're Hayden, how would you react to? I mean, that is just. I'll say it right now. That's a fireable offense for somebody.
I'd shoot the guy. I mean, seriously.
That's how you mess with a young player, like, really quickly, man. Even if it's justified for, like, it's okay, dude. Like, it's a roster spot. Like, he's gonna be back Saturday throwing doubleheader. I don't care. You need to prioritize winning, and that just sends a message throughout the whole organization that Hayden Birdsong means less to this team than Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson's his ERA is seriously on KY10 levels. If you know, you know. So we win that game. Squeak out there without a sweep. Go to LA. We've lost going into the series 5 straight games against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. We get a Blake Snell start to start it off. He goes 6 innings, 2 earned, pitches really well. I mean, Blake Snell's back. You've been calling it for a while. What do you like from Blake? Another heartbreaking loss for the Giants. Who's to blame? Just general thoughts from that game.
I mean, Snell pitched a great game. He's had a great second half. He didn't really pitch like himself. It was a lot different than what he usually does. I mean, only 4 strikeouts in 6 innings. He's a strikeout guy who's pitching a lot more to contact. 2 walks for Blake Snell. I mean, that's fine. That's probably even less than his median. So he pitched a great game. 2 runs against the Dodgers that's a great outing if you can go 6 and only allow 2 against that offense. But, everything went well in the bullpen besides a miscommunication in the outfield, which put a little dent on Miller's ERA. But, it clearly wasn't his fault. Matos and Ramos out there just having a flirt sesh instead of catching the ball. So, yeah, that's really the game changer, and that just completely shifted the whole.
In the 8th inning, how are you having to miscommunicate? You are At the time, 4 games below 500, you're still well in a playoff spot. You're having a miscommunication in the outfield, and the biggest part of the spot, I don't know who hit it. It might have been, I think it was Kike. Yeah, it was Kike Hernandez, who's again having a horrible year. He does the little, dude, that's one of the worst, most infuriating things I've ever seen. What are we doing? I mean, it should be a suspension. I mean, they already have a felon on the team. For that shit. They have a couple actually. Yeah. Shohei should be in prison. Who's the guy that just...
Urias?
Yeah, Urias. I don't even need to finish that sentence. Great stand-up guy. Just horrible. So we lose that game on a miscommunication. It's a prison league. We roll into game 2. Jordan Hicks start. I'd be lying to you if I said I was expecting us to win this game with Hicks out there. Hicks, first inning looks fantastic. Strikes out Shohei. Strikes out Will Smith. I wasn't thinking Hicks was back. It was just a nice little surprise to see that. Then, it's only 2 outs in the inning, let me tell you. He walks Freeman on 5 pitches, not even competitive. Hits Teoscar after a pitch that almost hit him. So he probably should have hit Teoscar 3 times. And then wild pitch, spikes it, hit grass. Don't even know how you missed that bad. And then Gavin Lux having he's putting up Estrada numbers. He's having an awful year, hitting 226. Ropes a double down the line. We're down 2-0. Gavin Lux owns us. He sucks at baseball.
Yeah, he's not good.
If it weren't for the Giants, he probably wouldn't have a job. We go down 2-0 early. Hicks, another horrible outing. Hope that's the last outing from Hicks this year, right? At least in the starting
3.2 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks. 5 walks. His command was awful. He's not throwing hard either. So if you're going to throw 105 and you have 5 walks, all right, well, your stuff's disgusting. You're probably not going to allow a hit if you're throwing 105 miles an hour. But when you throw 93, 92, and then spike a splitter at 83, it's just really not going to cut it. It's one or the other, man. You throw hard and you throw wild, or you throw accurate and you don't throw as hard. You can't just not throw hard and not throw accurate. That's not how the MLB works. I think that he either needs to spend some time down in AAA and get his stuff back together, or we can send him to the bullpen and send Jackson down. So that's really my only thoughts on him right now. But besides that, we should have won that game if it weren't for Hicks just chucking the ball into the floor.
Yeah, I'll stop right there. You said we're going to send Jackson down. Jackson, he's not going anywhere. He actually got promoted. He was getting 8th innings. I don't know
he's going in the ninth.
What other man in America, or woman, who has more job security than Luke Jackson. He must go to sleep just feeling great because he shows up to work every day. It does not matter how he performs. Any other organization or job, if a teacher showed up to school and taught a pretty shitty lesson for a full year, she'd probably get talked to, get reprimanded. No, Jackson gets promoted. He's pitching in 8th innings now. He'll probably get some closes here pretty soon after Doval hopefully gets traded. So we roll into game 3. We are now 1-4 on the road trip. 1-4 on the road trip. Got a Robbie Ray start. Light at the end of the tunnel a little bit. Excited to see Ray. Ray in the first inning just comes out. 34 pitch inning, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitches, couple wild pitches. He's missing bigger than Hicks, and that's saying something. He ends up walking a run in, and then all of a sudden, I think Jesus talked to him in the dugout or something.
Jesus talked to him. He got some sort of superpower going, pixie dust, whatever it was. 8 strikeouts, 5 innings, no hits. He just found it, and he was just dominating for the rest of his outing. Pitch like that every day, and then you're like Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson if they had a kid. So, that was just a great outing from him. Love to see that. Once he figured it out, he was just so dialed in. Struck out Ohtani a couple times. He was ready to go.
He looked just absolutely fantastic, just out of nowhere. After the game, Melvin said he almost pulled him in the first. It was that bad. Bullpen looks pretty good. Walker gets out of there, clean inning. Tyler Rogers gets out of there for the only clean inning he has this road trip. Eric Miller comes in. We're up 8-2 at the time. It was 8-1 at the time. And you'd think 2 games ago you lose a close game against the Dodgers on an outfield communication error. That would probably be a focal point in the post-game meeting. Clearly wasn't. Ramos and Yastrzemski this time have a miscommunication. Ball drops. Eric Miller lets him hear it coming off the field, which, of course, George Kontos, after the game, was upset with. but I mean that's because George is close to the organization. The organization has a lot of losers right now, and so we need more winners like Eric Miller. And I mean he's pitching well. He's a rookie. He's a rookie.
Yeah,
so he's got some effort out there.
People know that like, I'm out here. I'm doing my job. Now you do yours.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. We hit Glasnow pretty well. Glasnow sucks.
But yeah, no, he's bad in practice.
Yeah,
same with Kershaw. He's bad in practice.
Hate Tyler Glasnow. So we win that game 8-3. Roll into the last game of the series, and I'm thinking. Texting Jake, texting a couple other people, like, man, if we can sneak out of here with a split, like, this could be something. That was my first mistake, that I had hope for this team. I mean, Webb comes in, gets shelled again. Again, what did you see from Webb? Offense strikes out 16 times. That hurts to say. I mean, what did you see in this game, man? Just another bad loss.
I mean, yeah, the strikeouts. I mean, we got hot early against Kershaw. Looking good. Couple hits. I mean, got a couple runs, and then the strikeouts. That's just the major problem. Webb, again, not a great start. 3 walks in 5 innings. That's not like Webb. 9 hits. I mean, if you're going to get behind in the count, hitters are going to hit off pitchers that pitch to contact. So, I mean, yeah, that's really – it just when the momentum shifts down, everything just starts to go bad. So, I mean, Patrick Bailey, 3 strikeouts. VR, 3 strikeouts. Yep. Estrada, career low, 2 strikeouts.
That's impressive.
Yastrzemski, career low, 2 strikeouts. The only guys who didn't strike out in this game were Soler, which is the biggest shocker because he usually strikes out like 7 times in a game. And then Derek Hill.
Which, I mean, who the hell is that?
He just probably came from like the Rangers organization. So, yeah, I mean, the strikeouts is the problem. 16, never going to cut it. I mean, you don't win games when you strike out more than half the outs of the game. So, yeah.
Borderline, it's unfathomable thinking that an MLB team can strike out 16 times. And so even after that pretty rough Webb outing, he'll be the first one to play. That's what I appreciate about Webb is he wears it. Webb clearly wants to win. He's not out there collecting a paycheck like some other guys. I mean, I could go down a list. Estrada, Yaz, Conforto. And so it's 4-4 going into the 8th. Tyler Rogers comes in. For those of you that do not know, the Dodgers recently picked up Nick Ahmed, just horrible MLB player. I mean, he did nothing for our organization. We were at a game where he went yard, and like we were talking to our friends, like that is not normal, guys. I mean, Nick Ahmed sucks. He has a noodle arm. He can't hit. I mean,
swings the ball at his neck every single time.
I don't know why we're throwing it into the zone to him low, and
throw it high every time.
He golfs. He hits a home run off Tyler Rogers to give them a 5-4 lead. I'm sitting there. And I think my TV was a little behind. I opened up the MLB app, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the MLB app. It pops up like a blue circle, like in-play runs, and there's nobody on base. So I was like, did I miss something? Like, did the run already scored? It's like, no, Nick Ahmed goes yard. He talks some shit about our organization after the game, as he should. But I mean, Nick, you suck. You'll be out of here in 3 weeks'
Your temporary fix because Mookie Betts is coming back.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Ahmed has lost multiple games for the Giants this year. He does it again tonight, just not in the Giants uniform. Otani goes yard. Who cares? He was due for one. Probably had a bet or something. He belongs in jail. Should not be in. I mean, I honestly want an Otani trial here pretty soon. I'll go on the jury. And then, so just to recap a couple of the road trips, I mean, obviously go 2-5. Wanted to shout out a couple players. I mean, Michael Conforto stays hot, 2 for 21, 0.95, 7 strikeouts. On the year, 226. I mean, fantastic year for the kid. I mean, somehow 712 OPS. He lucks into a couple home runs here and there. I mean, we have to trade him. Who the hell wants this guy?
I don't. I mean, I don't know who would. He's not good. He strikes out with no outs all the time when we got runners on. He's got no clutch factor in him. I mean, really, I mean, who would want this guy, though? Like, what is he just going to sit here and rot? Or are we going to have to DFA him? Or, like, it's just such a bad pickup, such a bad player to pay.
$18 million a year. I
don't understand it, yeah.
It's really weird scrolling on Twitter. Like, I mean, it's cool. Giants Twitter's got a lot of awesome people. Hope they're listening. But, I mean, people are acting like people want to trade for Conforto. Like, this is a big piece. We can net, like, a top 10 prospect in an organization. I mean, this guy can't get it done for the San Francisco Giants. I don't know what contender. Like, the Yankees are not licking their chops thinking they want Conforto. I mean, Estrada goes 1 for 12. Give it up for Estrada. I mean, what's new for him?
Well, we'll start to get a little positive here. Tyler Fitzgerald, can't say enough about him. I'll stand for Tyler Fitzgerald. He goes 10 for 22, 454 average, 5 bombs, walks 6 times, 9 runs, 8 RBIs. This is a dynamic player, kind of Trey Turner-esque. Fitzgerald's here to stay, right?
Yeah.
You'd hope he doesn't get sent down. But.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's got speed too. He's 5'2". What more could you ask? I know the Giants don't like to get to second base because Melvin thinks first base is more valuable than a stolen base and a runner on second. But Melvin's a little special needs, so that's all. So, speedy guys, let's take advantage of them. If they're hitting the ball out of the yard, then we just got a diamond in the rough. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I was kind of reluctant after that Dodgers game. Fitzgerald played so well, maybe he'd go. Maybe he'd get optioned to San Jose after the game, create a God squad down there with him and Birdsong. But luckily, we were able to keep him. Road trip, runners in scoring position. Here's just some stats for you guys. If you're driving right now, make sure to keep your eyes on the road because this will infuriate you. Just a heads up, we're not responsible for anything. They go 11 for 54 with runners in scoring position, 203. Pretty bad. Could be worse. I was shocked we had 11 hits with runners in scoring position. But if you take away that one game against the Dodgers, fluke inning, all happened in one inning. They went 5 for 14. The road trip, they go 6 for 40, 150. 6 hits and 40 at-bats. Could you believe that?
I think we could do that.
No, seriously. Try something. Is that, what? That's a fireable offense for somebody.
Yeah. It's just so bad. Where is the want to win on this team? Just how? Is there no one out there? It's I'm going to make a difference at bat, or you're just going to go out here, watch me strike out here, and still collect the same paycheck as if I hit a home run because I don't care about the team.
It doesn't have winners. You see, I'm a big Matt Chapman fan, but Chapman strikes out on a pitch down the cock. Happens once a game. Walks back there, he's chuckling in there with Ramos. Yeah. It's stop. Show some fight. I want to see some Eric Miller things, throwing things. I want to see an ice chest broken.
Get Hunter Pence back in that dugout.
Seriously, he should be in that dugout. He should start in left field tonight.
Hell out of him
he should start in left field tonight. I don't know if we mentioned it earlier since it's our third take, but me and Jake are going to the Giants-Rockies game tonight. And not going to lie, I'm excited to be at Oracle Park, excited to hang out with a couple of our buddies. Are you realistic? Are you going to say straight to my face and the viewer's face that you're excited to watch this team play tonight?
No, I'm just going there. It's good. I like the idea of the Giants, the logo, the stadium, the team. It's a circus, as I said on the previous take. It is a circus. If you want to go to the circus, watch a clown show, watch some fly balls drop, watch some people who don't care. You go to the circus off 2nd Street in San Francisco called Oracle Park. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, strikeouts. You'll probably have clowns out in front of the stadium also. It's San Francisco. I don't want to harp on that too much. Yeah. It's the baseball podcast, but that team fits right in. They are bad, dude, and they don't even have the base running wonders anymore. They aren't just running. They've cleaned it up a little bit. It's not as good content as it was.
Take on whatever they want to. Yeah, no, but as Jake said, you got fly balls dropping. You got, if you want to see some cricket, watch Hicks throwing in. Robbie Ray's wearing the tightest pants you've ever seen. Dude, it's a circus. As that Instagram post just said, we're back in the Bay. Excited for Doval, Lone Save, Conforto, Golden Sombrero. I'll still be watching. Yeah. But then, going into the trade deadline, we're 4 days away. Actually, 3 days away. 4 games away. So we get a doubleheader on Saturday. Is it fair to say to keep this roster intact, we probably need a sweep?
The sweep, it's going to make or break the season. If we don't sweep or win at least 3 out of 4 of this and then 3 out of 4 of the next series, then there's just really no reason to not just start selling stuff because, the deadline's coming up. This is the last series we got, so we either go big or we go home. So if we sell, Blake Snell's a great option. He's been pitching a lot better. We got a lot of teams that are in on him, and they have a lot of good prospects in their farm system that we could 100% use because we're missing some bats right now. And pitching, we got pitching in our farm system. We don't have a lot of hitting. So I think Snell and Duvall were 2 that we could definitely let go for some crucial pieces that we could build on. And Conforto, we talked about earlier, who really wants the guy, but I'm 100% down to get rid of him. But who would you want to buy if we end up this sweep and if you still feel that there's a need to buy?
Jake, I'm not gonna lie to you. Personally, if I'm trying to be as level-headed, it's really hard to be level-headed nowadays. And a lot of people know me. I'm not that level-headed of a guy. But I don't know. Like, even if you do get a sweep, like, you look at this body of work that this team's put together. There's not. I mean, they could maybe sneak into the playoffs. There is not a chance in hell this team. Not a chance in hell this team wins the World Series. And so why are you even doing it? I'm team. Like, I've wanted this team to make the playoffs for so long. And we talked about how fluky of a season 2021 was. I mean, it was awesome seeing them in the playoffs. But, I mean, I'm team Sell. You got to get rid of Yaz. You got to get rid of Conforto, Tyra. I'd like to see some young guys. I'd like to see Luciano get some starts. I'd like to see Encarnacion get some starts. I mean, he went yard again today. I just want to see some young guys. Maybe find a diamond in the rough with Ramos and Fitz, who we already found. Maybe find another guy for next year. But, I mean, if it does come to it, I mean, I love Brent Rooker. I know you mentioned, like before the podcast, you're a big Brent Rooker guy. So what kind of attracts you to Brent Rooker?
He's hitting 289 with 24 bombs. I mean, he's a guy that hits the baseball. We don't have a lot of that in our program. I mean, he's not a great fielder, but, I mean, we need bats right now. That's really what we need. He's not going to be as valuable as a guy like Vlad, who is playing for a team right now that has a chance to contend in the next couple of years. The A's are a team that's just really they're not going to have much force moving forward. So getting a guy like Rooker would be really big for this team, I think, and could definitely enhance their chances of making the playoffs.
Yeah, dude, if we somehow got Rooker, it's not even about making the playoffs this year. He's instantly the best hitter we've had since, I don't know. I mean, Buster Posey was great in his late years, but I'd say dating back to 2020 on Buster Posey. But, I mean, he's got more juice than Buster even. Like, that's a bona fide, what Jorge's supposed to be, a 30-home run guy. I mean, Jorge's a slap hitter now, a contact guy.
He's like Luis Arias that just slings it sliders in the ground.
I don't know if you can tell about my mood now. It's now shifted a little bit. I mean, talking about the trade deadline just gets me a little depressed because I can't believe, what's the date? It's July 26th, and me and Jake are talking about trying to blow up this roster and think about next year, and I fully believe this was a 90-win club. I didn't think it was that crazy, and just like building off how much of a shit show this season has been, to be frank with you. I apologize for the language. If I would have told you in March that Robbie Ray got a win before Blake Snell, would you believe me,
I would have
man?
laughed at you. I would have said that you're joking right now. There's nothing funny about that. No. But, I mean, it's reality. It's crazy.
Dude, like, everybody listening, I mean, there's a lot of Giants fans listening. There's also, like, some Royals fans. I don't know who else is listening, but Robbie Ray had Tommy. Was it two? It was Tommy John.
Yeah, he
right?
had Tommy John.
He had Tommy John in the off season. Blake Snell just won Cy Young. Blake Snell's first start we were at probably May. It was in May, right?
Yeah, 7
insane.
runs or whatever.
Yeah, he gives up like 7 runs. Blake Snell has yet to record a win as a Giant. He's pitching well. It's not really his fault, but the fact that Robbie Ray has a win before Blake Snell says all you need to know about this team. We hope this episode uploads. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Please subscribe and like this podcast. You know, we've been working at this for 3 hours, like we said. Yeah. Unbelievable. The link tree will be in the description. We'd appreciate you guys sharing this with other Giants fans. You know, we're going to be at the game tonight. We'd love to see you out there. We'll be tweeting. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm Jack.
I'm Jake.
Thank you for tuning in.